All right, welcome everybody to the Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Can we get our roll call and declaration of quorum?
Maybe, hold on. Yes, you can. Vinny, here. Bradley.
Here.
Silva.
Here.
Curran.
Here.
Stacy.
Here.
Knoble. Here. Lindemann. Here. Ms. Cockrum. Here. We're all here. Gang's all here.
All right, then if everybody could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation by Pastor William Hale with St. John's Lutheran Church.
Gracious and loving Lord, we come to you today, this evening, with hearts and mouths filled with thanksgiving because you have done such a wonderful thing in this community. You have raised up an army of men and women and given them the task, the responsibility to use their talents to make this a better community. Grant them wisdom as they deliberate this evening. Grant them courage to speak the truth that needs to be spoken, but also grant them at the end of the evening a spirit of unity, that the decisions that emerge this evening will be ones that prosper and make this community a bright light for all to see. Bless our children as they go through our system today to become wonderful young people as they emerge. Lord, I ask and pray all of this in the name of your glorious Son, our Lord. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor. Okay, up next is public comment. I don't believe we have anything today. And after that, we get on to the fun stuff. Yeah, Erica Venny and Becky Bradley will be presenting some awards. Those are always fun.
Oh, you're going to give me a microphone? Okay. Hi, everybody. This is a big mistake. Okay.
Give it back.
All right. Okay, so we get to give out some band awards, which I'm thrilled about because I'm a band kid, and Becky's really excited to do that as well. So we're going to start off with, are we doing B first? Or the kids first?
Oh, no, you're in control. So.
Well, we're going to do the kids first. All right, so can we have come up here with us, is it Carlisa Brent or Carlissa? Carlisa, great, I had it right.
Brent.
Come on, Ms. Brent. I'll read about you. So Carlisa is a junior student who plays the flute for the Granite City High School Band, and she's been named as a member of the IMEA, or ILMEA, Illinois Music Education Association All-State Band, which is fantastic. And you performed on February 1st, 2025 at the Peoria Civic Center. How was it?
It was good. It was a great experience.
I remember it was IMEA back when I did it. I don't know why they changed it, but it's so cool, isn't it, to get together with other musicians? So the school board is really proud of you, obviously, and we'd like to recognize you with this award to honor that. We should probably have our band directors come on up too, so you can be in on the fun as well. So hold on to that. Let's give Carlisa a round of applause, please. Yes, stay. We're going to do a picture, so stay. Bailey Hanks, come on up. Bailey is a senior student who plays the French horn for the Granite City High School Band and was named also as a member of ILMEA All-State Orchestra. And you performed also at the Peoria Civic Center. What'd you think?
It was fun, as always.
So I meant to ask you both. Is this your first time going, second, third?
Third time.
First time. All right, great. So we're very proud of you. Congratulations. Adriana Ireland. Sorry, pronunciation is really important to me, so I want to make sure I say your name correctly. Adriana, come on up. Adriana is a junior student who plays the trumpet for the Granite City High School Band, and has been named a member of also ILMEA Honors All-State Band, and you also performed at the Peoria Civic Center. What was your favorite piece you played?
Probably the mambo we played.
Mambo, all right, great. Well, congratulations. Thanks for representing us so well. All right, Victoria Robinson, come on up. Victoria, here, we'll scooch down a little bit. Victoria is a senior student, and she plays euphonium for the Granite City High School Band, and you were named also to the Honors All-State Band for ILMEA. Congratulations. What was the hardest part about the experience for you, like the most challenging?
Waking up early.
That's really hard, yes. How early did you have to wake up?
Like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, those are wrestlers' hours. That's like really early. Yeah, okay. Well, congratulations. Thank you for representing us. All right. And last but not least, Alyssa White. Come on up. Alyssa White is a junior student who plays the bass clarinet for the Granite City High School Band, and you were also named to the Honors All-State Band. What'd you think?
It was fun.
How many times have you been at IMEA?
This is my first time.
Your first time? How about you? How many times have you been? Twice. All right. Which was better, the first time or the second time? Second. All right. Did you meet any kids or other musicians from other districts that you became friends with while you were there? No. I mean, it's kind of a high-stress situation, right? Like, especially in the honors band, because you're like, that's hard, right? All right. Well, congratulations. All right. So let's get together. We'll take a picture. Band directors, did you guys want to say anything about the experience? Much more eloquently than I did? Okay. Kids are great. Well, time was had. Great. Okay, well, let's get together and we'll take a quick picture.
You guys scoot in there. I'm going to put bunny ears up behind that. Smile. Jada, stay up here for a second.
All right. So now we get to honor a slightly older, more mature band kid. Miss Jada Brockman, I don't know if you all know, which is kind of a big deal. So the Granite City High School Assistant Band Director, is this your third or fourth year with us? Fourth year? So she received a great award from Eastern Illinois University for Outstanding Early Career Award, which is a very cool award. How does that work? Are you nominated for it, or do you nominate yourself?
You were nominated for it, and I was nominated by students.
Oh my gosh, that's even better. I love that. Maybe I should have read this some more because that's probably going to say that, but we'll go. Okay. This award recognizes an EIU alum who graduated less than 5 years ago, has demonstrated success as a new teacher, and shows promise of being a leader in the field. Jada completed her student teaching with us the spring of 2021 and is currently in her 4th year of teaching in GCSD9. She uses an extremely student-centered approach to teaching, allowing her students to be involved in the decision-making process, fostering collaboration, and creating a highly productive team environment. We are lucky to have such an incredible educator and overall good human being, that's in italics, in our district. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on, I got some questions. I'm interviewing her. Hold on. What do you love about being a band director in our district?
Well, in my position, I work with like 7th grade through senior year. So this year's group of seniors, I taught them when they were in 8th grade, which is really cool to see, literally watching them grow up.
That's awesome. Mr. Roberts, why is she so amazing? Honestly, yeah. Like she's great. She's your closest collaborator. That's really great. All the great things, right? Well, we're very lucky and pleased to have you. Thank you. All right, now we'll do a picture. Here, take that back. That was it, right?
Yeah. All right, everybody. And now we move on to the regular business. So if you would like to leave, you are more than welcome to.
We understand.
We get it, yeah.
Don't leave. Yes, and there's people that actually believe that. I know.
And as Eric Stacy said earlier, his Chromebook battery has about 6 hours remaining on it, so we'll try to keep it under that.
6 hours.
Oh, wow. Let's hope so.
Next, let's go ahead and do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Education held on January 14th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, and roll call?
Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knogel. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye.
Okay, and next is consent agenda, which contains those items that are repetitive and routine in nature. Any member may make a motion to approve the consent agenda or request that any of the items be moved to Section 7 for individual discussion and consideration. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay. Would you?
Yeah, before you do roll call, I would just like to thank the Tyler Timmons Memorial Foundation. They donated 30 beanbag chairs to the Prather Elementary Education Center, and that was a value of $1,500. So thank you so much for thinking of our students and our staff.
Sorry.
Squishmallow, yeah,
Not
there's.
just any beanbag, Squishmallow beanbag.
That must mean something
That
very
does mean
important.
something, yes.
Okay.
That's very important.
Okay. Sorry I neglected to say that. That is huge that I was not aware of. That is a big thing. Yes, my kids must be too old for that. Yes.
We have little ones that love Squishmallow.
My apologies, but thank you very much.
I have dozens of those.
We'd also like to thank Mr. Kevin Nickel for donating sheet music and stage lighting equipment to the Coolidge Junior High School Band Department. Thank you for that. Darlene Carmen, she donated $1,000 to the Coolidge Junior High Band Department. Thank you for that as well. And the family of Joan Mucho, they gave a monetary donation to the Murrayville Education Center. So thank you again for all these people that are thinking of our district when they're wanting to give their donations. It's greatly appreciated.
And roll call?
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knogel. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Next, we have 8A, rescind retirements and resignations.
It's recommended that the following retirements and resignations listed below and on the GCSD9 website be rescinded.
So moved. Second.
Okay, roll call?
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knogel. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
8B, retirements and resignations.
It's recommended that the following retirements and resignations listed below and on the GCSD9 website be accepted.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call?
Stacy.
Aye.
Knogel. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye. 8C, requests for leaves of absence.
It's recommended that the following requests for leaves of absences listed below and on the website be approved.
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Knogel. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
8D, requests for extensions to leaves of absence.
It's recommended that the following requests for extensions to leave the absences listed below and on the website be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knogel.
Okay. 8E, extracurricular resignations for the 24-25 school year.
You've received detailed information about this item. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. The GCSD9 administration is recommending the following extracurricular resignations for the 24-25 school year listed below and on the website be accepted.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knogel. Linneman.
Aye.
8F, extracurricular recommendations for the 24-25 school year.
You've received detailed information about this item. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. The GCSD9 administration is recommending that the following extracurricular assignments for the 24-25 school year listed below and on the website be approved.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Noble. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. And just so everybody knows, that's third quarter lunch duties at Grigsby, gifted coordinator, assistant track coaches, and baseball coach.
8G, extracurricular volunteers for the 24-25 school year.
You've received detailed information about this item. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. The GCSD9 administration is recommending the following extracurricular volunteers for the 24-25 school year listed below and on the website be approved.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Roll call.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Noble. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Oops, I don't know why I said that. Yeah. Okay. Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
A little fast, sorry.
8H, discipline of employee.
You've received detailed information about this item. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. The GCSD9 administration requests the approval to uphold the disciplinary action listed below. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Okay. Roll call.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knoble. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Okay. 8I, certified and classified substitutes.
Yes, it's recommended that the following applicants listed below and on the website be board approved as substitutes for the 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Roll call.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knoble. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye. All right. Thanks again, substitutes. 8J1, employment of Lake ESSC administrative assistant for the 24-25 school year.
You've received detailed information about this item. The administration is prepared to make recommendations and hold for discussion in executive session. The GCSD9 Administration of Interview Committee consisting of Dr. Adam Garrett, Executive Director of Human Resources, Dr. David Keel, Executive Director of Educational Operations, and Stephanie Schleppler, Human Resource Specialist, are recommending the employment of Stephanie Green as the Lake ESSC Administrative Assistant for the 24-25 school year. Approval is recommended pending the submission of the required paperwork.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Noble. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
8J2, employment of special education paraprofessional for the 24-25 school year.
You've received detailed information about this item. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. The GCSD9 Administration and Interview Committee consisting of Dr. Adam Garrett, Executive Director of Human Resources, Mickey Watkins, Executive Director of Special Education, Ann Wilson, Wilson Elementary Education Center Principal, and Pat Curry, Coolidge Junior High School Principal, are recommending the employment of Brian McEllen as the special education professional for the 24-25 school year. Approval is recommended pending the submission of the required paperwork.
Second.
Okay. Roll call.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Noble. Aye.
Okay. 10A, the ratification of the MC2 solar agreement.
GCSD9 Administration requests that the Board of Education approve to ratify the MC2 solar agreement for the 25 calendar year. The signed agreement is below, and the full document was sent to the board in a previous update. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Zach, do you want to just real quickly say what this is? I know we
Can you
know,
explain
but
solar energy?
why we're doing it really is what it is. But yeah.
We entered into this program, and then they give us these energy credits. So we get those applied to our bill. So then those energy credits, the solar company then bills us at 90% of what the credits we get. So it saves us about 10% overall on whatever portion of the bill they cover. So it's been fairly decent. It's a little savings, It's not a huge amount, it's not millions, but it's a little bit at each building.
But it's
Yeah.
also low, like overhead for us. We're not investing a lot.
Yeah, it just reduces power. We're buying a lower rate of energy from a solar farm.
Solar farm, yeah.
Thank you.
I figured it saves between $20,000 and $22,000 a year.
Yeah, that's a rough estimate.
Okay.
In a sunny year.
And these solar farms.
Not in January and February.
Yeah,
One up here, Danville.
yeah, this isn't the stuff you see around our buildings.
Good. I mean, I shouldn't say good, but like,
That's
thank you.
what I was going to ask, if the solar plates have to be local, very local.
No, these can be anywhere.
Okay. Roll call.
Denny, aye. Bradley. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knogel. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
10B, after-school tutoring program.
The GCSD9 administration requests permission to offer an after-school tutoring program for the select number of students in grades kindergarten, first, and second grade. The program will allow 25 students from each school to receive additional help with reading. Each building will have a coordinator and 5 to 6 teachers working with the students in small groups. The program will begin March 3rd and end April 3rd. Transportation is provided. Some of the cost is paid via grant funds.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
It's a great program we do every year. I love it.
Yeah. And we've already been doing this with older kids, right?
Right.
Yeah. Roll call.
Bradley. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
First semester.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knogel. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye.
Okay. 10C, SWIC Prather Pre-K Kindergarten Center Agreement.
The GCSD9 administration requests permission to approve the following agreement with Southwestern Illinois College. This agreement allows SWIC the opportunity to work with Prather and Grigsby pre-K programs as a practicum facility for their students. SWIC students will be allowed to visit these programs and observe teacher and student interactions, gaining knowledge about the pre-K program. These are students showing an interest in this field of study. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knogel. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley. Aye.
Okay. 11-1A, CEO Student Discipline.
Yes, you've received detailed information about this item. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. The administration is recommending a 1-year expulsion for a student named under separate cover with services if available.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Curran.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knogel. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Bradley. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Do that one first.
Let's do freedom of information.
Okay.
real quick, and then do that.
Real quick, we'll do 11-1B, the Freedom of Information Act requests.
Yes, you've received, so the Freedom of Information Act requests listed below and the GCSD9 website were handled by administration.
Okay, and then for 11-1A, we have a ESGI report from Donna White.
Welcome back.
Thanks so much for having me. It's actually not an ESGI report. It's a report about your students and what is so far happening as we try to comply with the newest literacy mandates out of the state of Illinois. So a year and a half ago when I met some of you, thank you, I called my presentation a path forward. And I first want to thank Don for taking on a project that started before he arrived here and running with it, even though he probably wonders sometimes what we're hoping to achieve. I want to thank Kristen, who's had to make some hard calls because I'm a tough lady to work with. I'm not related to anyone in this district. I'm not friends with anyone in this district. The decisions that I have to recommend and to say sometimes are not popular because they are based on what kids need. And Kristen's had to make some of those hard calls, and I thank you for having my back and for following through on those. And then I thank Jennifer, who travels in and out of schools with me, and I swear every time I'm here, I think, does she have ESPN? ESP, because before I ask her for it, she's already done it and hands it to me. And so it's really made a difference in how fast things are moving here. And I think you're going to see some of that. So thank you to each of you. I start with change. Because change, you have a lot going on in this district. You're going to be changing a whole lot this next year. Change is uncomfortable, it's stressful, and it's scary. And I do a keynote on change around this country on national stages, and I'm always shocked at how many people say to me, I just want things to stay the same. But if things stay the same, you have to be 100% happy with the results you're getting. And if you're not, we have to change something. So we're looking to flip these feelings that go along with change into these, that it can be invigorating, exciting, and it's needed. If every child was succeeding, we wouldn't change anything. Until that time, we have to be open to changing things. And in the end, I love a fellow presenter of mine on the road always used to love to say, change is inevitable, suffering will be optional. And so we have to decide, do we get dragged along or do we kind of embrace the change and hopefully move forward? So as your state rolled out their comprehensive literacy plan, I'm happy to say, as I watched, that originally they had thought about following New York's education plan. Being from New York at the time, I've since moved to Georgia after my whole life in New York, just in time for a hurricane to hit. But I am happy that they didn't do that they actually took the time to say, listen, we need to set some guidelines and we need to make a rubric and we need to look at the things we're using in schools, but not just cut you down to choose this or this, and those are your only two options. So I think that Illinois took their time. They have some great things, and hopefully we can ride on those great things. But the things that we're looking at when you look at the Illinois Comprehensive Literacy Plan, phonemic awareness, you've already addressed it. The first year I was here, we looked in the school, we found all of Michael Haggerty's work, without a doubt. Love Michael, worked with him on the road. He passed away several years ago. His work is still #1 in this country for addressing deficits in phonemic awareness. You have that, teachers are using that, we're happy. Phonics. You came all in on BrainSpring as your systematic, explicit phonics system. You did it before the state said you had to have one. And so you're already sitting in a very good position to follow through that mandate and that part of the literacy plan. And that's what we're going to focus on today because it's been such a huge part of how do you build the foundation of literacy within schools. Fluency. I didn't think we were ready to get here. I thought we'd need another 6 months at least. I will tell you we're in. And so fluency is something we are presently working on, and we're going to describe a little of that to you. When we get to the red, you cannot extend kids' vocabulary and reading or ask for comprehension if I can't get the words off the page. The goal is to teach you to decode the words in the young grades and then make sure that you can understand what those words are saying to you. That's a comprehensive reader. So I know that maybe 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and high school teachers say, well, you're leaving me out. If we build the house and we just go in and say, we're starting on the roof at high school and we're going to add new windows, but you never fix the foundation, the house is going to keep falling down. So yeah, you start with the K, the 1, the 2, and you really hit it hard so that no one else is going up through that, not able to face the challenges of 3rd and 4th grade. Most teachers above 4th grade especially are content teachers. They're not reading teachers. So if you come and you can't decode, I don't really know what to do with you. And that's not their fault. They have heavy-duty content to teach. That's why we can't send them without those basic skills. So yes, we're going to continue to knock down and keep going. But when I think of when your literacy plan came out, you're ahead of many of these initiatives. And that's a good place to be in the state right now. Writing, coming back, when you stopped testing writing in Illinois, I was part of a presenting for Illinois ASCD at the time. The minute we stopped testing it, it went by the wayside in schools. Unfortunately, reading and writing are connected. Better reader, better writer, better writer, better reader. So bringing that back in and figuring out how to weave that. And now your state recently added this piece of the oracy. That's a neat, it's now coming forward and saying, listen, in the pre-K programs, as I said, you're going to connect with the college, and they're going to come and see pre-K. They're pushing more of oral language, the ability to speak a full sentence before we ever say, hey, also start to read these words. And so it's become a bigger deal for our special ed departments. It's become a bigger deal at the early childhood level to ensure that language is built. And the only thing that you don't do is to stare at a computer screen. So we definitely see now a big push with that. So we've addressed these two. Exciting news. I submitted 4 proposals of schools that I work with, 1 out of Bakersfield, California, and 3 out of Illinois. 2 ESGI when they wanted to write a white paper. They chose Granite City, and you all graciously chose to be part of a white paper whose research said, hey, look at what you can do when you start to focus on the deficit kids have. And so this is not your brand new data. This is the data from last year that was placed into that white paper and the research presented when you had already taken kids out of the 22-23 school year and doubled the number of kids that had production of sound. So when you're looking at learning to read and alphabetic principles, you can recognize A. It's pretty much like recognizing that your first name is Jane. You just recognize it. It's not a value in application. Then you learn the sounds of those letters. There's just 26 letters. A person once said to me on the plane, don't you think teachers have it made, not knowing I was a teacher? I said, do you think so? And he said, yeah, how hard can it be to teach some kid 26 letters? Well, there's a lot more to it. See, those 26 letters are the whole foundation of learning to read. And so that second step is to hear those sounds. The one that turns you into a reader is when you can create those sounds. You see those letters, you know the rules, and you can put them together and produce them. So you made huge gains in the very first year that you undertook a brand new phonics system, plus keeping track of that in a data system that you could make changes the next day. That's the gift of educational software that guides instruction. We were able to say, tomorrow you can't do what you did today because we can see it's not working. We need to do something different. So very exciting. That white paper hopefully was given to you and you got to preview it, but it is exciting that it will go, not national. ESGI is an international company. It will be presented to all of the people that work within that company. But that data-driven decision-making, you're the gentleman that gave the, what's the word I'm looking for? He said it's to come here and be honest and forthright with, and that's what's going to happen as you look at data. You gave me a t-shirt, and it is one of my favorite sayings. Without data, it's your opinion, okay? But if you can't show it to me and tell me that that child can't do it, I don't believe you. I need the data that proves to me. You can't say, well, I feel like he doesn't. Nope, your feelings don't come in with me. I need to see the proof. He said, be honest, and that's what data makes us. It holds us accountable, and it brings out a lot of honesty. Sometimes it hurts to look at some of it and know. But knowing that you guys are all making that push to ensure that we're making decisions for kids based upon credible, reliable data that drives what can we change for these kids. And you're going to see it in a minute. We have a sense of urgency here. You were way below the national average. And so the sense of urgency is to get as many rising up as quickly as we can. So to identify those skills in real time, ESGI allows us to progress monitor that and make immediate changes. So let's look at some of the things going on in your school. Jen and I visited a school kindergarten a couple of weeks ago. To know that 88% of your students have mastered at the kindergarten center production, not just recognizing letters, not just hearing the sound, but actually being able to produce those sounds independently, which will turn them into readers, 88% of what they've been taught already. That is something to celebrate. On top of that it's hard to go, no one at home, if you've raised a son, a daughter, you have grandchildren, no one at home ever says, okay, I'm gonna teach you about language, okay? So do you ever say to a small child, this is a table, okay, say that back. No, you say, this is a table, honey, say that. Then we bring you to school and some crazy teacher says, now listen to me, what's the word? Table. And the kid's going, I don't know what that word is. This is where you have to start to break our language apart and look what they're doing. They're putting it back together. They're able to blend. 55% of the kindergartners are blending right now, and we're only midway through the year. That's exciting. This is probably going into my favorite slide. For years, as I've traveled and worked with schools, I've always thought, when did title, RTI, MTSS, special education, when did they become life sentences? That people would say to me, I'd say, who's entitled this year? The same kids that were in last year. Who's in special ed? The same kids that were in last year. That's not what those programs were set up to be. You look and we know that research shows if you stay in those programs, that 90% of you will still be in those programs come high school. So how do we eliminate as many as we can, pushing them out? So MTSS, huge in your state. I mean, Illinois led the way for some of the other states, modeled what that triangle would look like. Tier 1 is your most intensive interventions that we can offer kids. We're taking the best people we have in reading and we're putting you one-on-one or in a small group, and we're hoping that we can pull you out and get you to that tier 2. Yes?
Sorry, I think you might have just misspoken, but I just want to clarify. You're talking about tier 3, right?
Tier 3, I have my triangle upside down, thank you. So that tier 3 is that intensive, thank you, intensive intervention. So let's look at what kindergarten did just recently. Your kindergarten students, and it's because we were just there recently, we're able to report this. In November, you had 71 kids in tier 3. When we were there in January, you had 38 left. That meant you moved 33 kids out of red and into yellow. Let's move those yellow into green. And so it was exciting to see, but the best part of it is definitely the question at the bottom. If you moved 33 kids, what does that mean for us? It means we can pick up 33 more that need our assistance. We just couldn't get to them because we didn't have the manpower. So now you keep doing that. It just is huge, the success that you're seeing. I want to share some good news from today's data meeting. We were in Maryville, and first grade teachers came in to share their data, which, by the way, was pretty awesome data, okay? And their biggest problem at the end of the meeting, and these are the problems I face when I'm in schools that are struggling. People say to me, can we make a small group because we're in first grade and kids don't know their letters, Donna, and I don't know how we're ever going to teach them their letters, so can't we make more small groups of kids who practice their letters? No, what was today's discussion? Can we make small groups to practice fluency? I said, with a 6-year-old? And they said, yes, because they're reading, Donna. They've got this. Of course, they're word to word. There was one teacher that said, well, can he be considered beyond proficient? I said, we don't need him to be. You know what we want every first grade reader to be? Developing. I'll be happy with a 2. She wants a 5. Okay, she wants him to be beyond that, beyond proficient. But the reality was to hear them go back and forth and say, I think we need an intervention group that helps them to sound more fluent. And if we do that, they'll be able to understand what they read better. That was an exciting conversation to listen to, and not a problem I see very often in a first grade discussion. So that was good news. You've moved kids. You had many kids that in first grade were doing kindergarten skills. And you still have some. I'm not going to lie, we have a long way to go. We have some, but when you're moving 90 kids from November to January out of layer 1 skills that are considered kindergarten, pushing them, now you've got me within a half a year of being on grade level. We can catch you up. We can if we continue with the systems that are explicit, systematic phonics, and we hold people accountable for their data. And so it has been exciting, the first 2. When I think of the fluency, again, I'd love to take credit, but I can't. I give Jen tasks, and she comes through over and over. I said, it'd be great if we had passages that no child had ever read before, that only contained the skills that we had taught them and asked them to read them. She went into AI. She not only got created these passages in AI, she even got pictures that matched the passage, which I'm not a huge AI person yet, but I'm beginning to think I need to be. So we have our own, they're Granite City passages. They were developed by one of your own. We went in, we measured fluency. Dr. Tim Rosinski, I am privileged to call him a friend of mine. He is the world's leading expert on fluency. He helped me to build the rubric that we could then say, it's not about how many words you read per minute. We've done that to kids for years. Okay, I'm going to set the timer, read as fast as you can. These kids would be like, okay, go. They wouldn't breathe. They wouldn't stop at punctuation. And then you'd ask them, so what was that about? Oh, I don't know. We created a world full of word chuckers. Tim and I would have discussions on national presentations all the time about when is this world going to see that it's not about that number only when we're talking about fluency. It involves your ability, yes, for automatic word recognition, but you need things like rhyming and phrasing. We were in the schools looking at how many of your kids already have proficiency level fluency skills in first grade. I'm impressed. I mean, don't forget, they're 6. They don't even know what expression means. You say, can you add some expression to that reading? What's that? But they have pieces of it that are picking them up. So the rubrics are helping us to see more than a number. There's lots of pieces. You can read really slow. As long as you understand it, I'm still really happy. So we definitely have come a long way. We've had to eliminate some things, and that's uncomfortable, because if you were a teacher that always used a 3-queuing system, and I now tell you every bit of research out there says you cannot any longer do that with a child, that's why 68% of our nation's 4th graders don't read on grade level. We've had to eliminate things, and that can be uncomfortable. Please know my job as your consultant for your children is to look at a library of leveled readers that you invested probably millions of dollars in and ask, how do we revamp that so they're not leveled, they're books? And how do we reallocate those books to make sure that we have decodable readers when you're first learning to read, and then we ensure that you have access to everything you want to read once those decodable. So there's work to be done there. You have the embedded phonics. I don't see any more of the DRA, IRA in this district. So all good news that what the state said was basically what we needed to also not only bring in, but get rid of some of the things. It's hard. You'll find somebody, you know, that if you've had a pair of pajamas forever and you just don't want to let them go, you have some teachers that don't want to let go, but we're going to continue to show them why. And success breeds success. When you see kids doing better, you want to be part of that. So I think we're well on our way. This is the same slide I showed you a year and a half ago. This is what your teachers said were areas of concern for them in this district. We attacked the curriculum. We went after finding systematic. We have a phonemic awareness system in place. We're building our fluency. We still have work to do on the vocabulary comprehension. But That was our first one. The one we're after now is right here. We're after the assessment and data. Yeah.
Do you have this one? I haven't opened it.
I have them here, yeah.
I'm even gonna. Now I'm losing my. Let's see if I can. It's still pretty bad, but that's the piece we want to go after. And so I'm trying to remember. We started data meetings. They started in November. It's hard to put it up on the screen and have to own that. You're not moving kids. So how can we help? How can we support you in making sure that every child moves? So we started them. I loved, one of your principals today said, in the second data meeting, today was better. It was less uncomfortable, Donna. They will continue to get less uncomfortable. But we have to put it up there. We have to hold ourselves accountable for that data. Next steps, last slide, I promise. We continue with those data meetings. We look for what's working, what's not. The use of FastBridge, we identified it was not giving us what we needed to immediately change what was going on in classrooms. You'll always find the weak links. Hopefully save your district some money and say that's not what our children need for us to push forward with them. The level readers I spoke to, we're on making a plan for how to reallocate all of those resources that are no longer considered best practice. Aligning your report cards is going to be a big one. Evaluate your professional development. I wish this was a Granite City problem, but it's not. It's everywhere I work right now. I'm tired as a teacher. I have a family at home. I don't want to come in the summer to your PD. I don't want to stay after school, and I don't want one more link that you want me to watch at 8 o'clock in the morning. So how do we ensure our teachers have the best PD, that we're offering them opportunities to learn about new things? And I think you have a PD day tomorrow. Those matter. We look and say, how do we continue to make sure that staff is up to date on what is best practice? But I think your next step, and this will all come down to your superintendent and other people that make those decisions, you're probably at a place where you ought to think about staffing in terms of having instructional coaches. What that allows you to do, I'm a consultant, not an employee. When I'm gone, you still have people who say, hey, listen, we know the best practice. Let us come and model it for you. Let's push into a classroom. So tomorrow I'll be modeling in several classrooms. You want to have that same staffing type of thing. So I know that Kristen's trying to be creative. I hope, Donnie, you'll be open to listening to some of those ideas. And then you find a person that kind of oversees that knows data, that's strong with data and communication skills, and you say that MTSS model works. And we're going to continue to offer our faculty that support that they need to figure out how do we get kids out of the tiers. It shouldn't be a life sentence to get extra support. It should be we give you extra support and get you out of there so we can gather some more people, some more kids that might need that. So we have work to do, but super proud of the work that they've done. I'm excited for the kids. I'm excited for the teachers. There was a teacher, I'm not going to lie, she was a naysayer. And she has found success. And today her smile said it all when she said, my kids are getting it, Donna, and they are flying. Success breeds success. that's what we need to continue to ride on. So I just wanted to update you. Thank you for your time. I'm excited for your kids. I'm excited for the district. So thanks very much for letting me come and share.
Thank you, Donna, very much. Next, we have our Illinois Association of School Boards Liaison Report from Board of Education Treasurer Linda Knoble.
Lori Silva and I will be attending the next division meeting, which will be in Troy. And that'll be our next opportunity to find out what is going on at IASB. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And with that, we do have some items to discuss in executive session. The exceptions are noted under 5 ILCS 120/2 open meetings. Tonight, we have 2C1, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body, and 2C2, collective bargaining matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives. Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Stacy.
Aye.
Knoble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny, aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye. Okay, 6:51.